I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me, to those of you that have so far. It's great to be back. Yeah. How are we all doing? It's great to be back. It's great to see some familiar faces. Thank you very much for joining me for, fresh stream back in a new week. I hope you've missed me. If you have, do not worry, I'm back. And of course, I hope that you guys enjoys tuning in to Save with Crypto, holding down the fort for me. I hope he, put some good shows on for you guys. I'm sure he did. And yeah, obviously big thanks to him. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed them. Nick, how we doing? Firewatch, how was your break into York? It was lovely, mate. Lovely. Really enjoyed it. And actually got some really nice weather, to be fair, while I was there. So yeah, that was great. Yo, how we doing, Dunder Thunder? Great to see you, mate. We've got 12 notes. Hello there. How are you doing? But yeah, welcome back, everybody. How are we all? Let me know in the comment section. What have you guys been up to? Obviously, I've been away. I've, not been here streaming. But what have you guys been doing? Have you been doing much trading? Have you been living life? What have you guys been up to? Let me know in the comment section. And of course, please do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. It will help us out. We need to get back, obviously, in the rhythm of things. So yeah, please do drop that in. And yeah, let's get going. Let's get going. But what I will say is, market is cooking something up. Yeah, I think so, mate. I think so. So before I went off, I actually longed a long Bitcoin on the stream account, and it's still open. It's still open. So I went a bit crazy with the leverage, 30x, and I just thought, you know what, I'm hitting this. And look at this. So I can't remember where did I enter. So it was here. So I'll show you where I entered. Right there, obviously, where you can see the green arrow there. So that was on the 29th of August. So that would have been, just over about a week and a half ago, wouldn't it? And look at that. I mean, I had the stop loss at 107k because I put it in the Discord server saying I'm long in Bitcoin here. Stop loss 107k. And look at the murder we got away with. I mean, it came down here. We got away with it by $275-ish. Then it came a bit closer, didn't it? Last week. We got away with it by $195, and then again here. So, yeah, it looks like, obviously for the time being anyway, we've got away with where did we put the stop loss, and we didn't get stopped out. So it's still open. And I am targeting 117k, which would be obviously on this account with $244 of margin. Roughly just under 300% P&L, which would be fantastic. Of course, we're just touching on that 100% mark now. It would have obviously been a little bit more when we was up here. What day would this have been? Friday? Yeah, I think it was Friday, wasn't it? But yeah, so it's open and it's going to stay open. It's going to stay open because I am eyeing up that fill of the CME gap higher. Thunder has been long on TRX, RA, Maker. Saturday got liquidated on TRX. TRX is a bit of a mad one, isn't it? It's a bit of a mad one, TRX, because it kind of trades on its own in the market. It's like completely just on its own for the most part, of course. But yeah, because of obviously the supply control and obviously the entity around it, kind of a bit like BNB, really. Yeah, where it just kind of just does its own thing, doesn't it? And yeah, it doesn't really correlate too much to the rest of the market. But yeah, nonetheless, that has been on a great one. And to be fair to you guys, I haven't really checked much on the market. I've been keeping an eye on Bitcoin, of course, but altcoins, I am completely blind as to what's happened over the past week and a half. So it'd be good to run through them and actually have a look. But yeah, it's great to see what you've been on Thunder, and hopefully, mate, yeah, we will get some good price action this week. Now let's have a look. So we didn't leave a CME gap behind last night, which was good. So when we look at it, the big one, I believe, yeah, is up there, isn't it? Let's see where we filled in so far. Let's see where we filled in so far with this CME gap. So we've come all the way up to, on the CME exchange anyway, 114,260. Now the CME gap is open to, not there, here. So 117,230 on the CME, of course, which will differ a bit to actual crypto exchange prices. As you can see, there is a big premium. A big premium, about $500. So this would bring us, you know, obviously if this is tagged to around 117k, maybe just below. Should we fill this gap that is still open? So that's something that I'm potentially eyeing up for this week. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, maybe now could be the time that we go and do it. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is currently, yeah, all I'm interested in really is looking at Bitcoin to really get a bit of a rally together, and it doesn't need to go that high, does it? move up to it. It seems like a really real chore for it, but it's not even a 5% move, 4.5% move from here, and we're back up to 117k. Close that CME gap, and then from there, who knows? 150x, own fault, but still living. Well, that's it, mate. That's it. Sometimes you take a wild ride, don't you? I got liquidated throughout August, probably. No, I don't know if I got liquidated. Definitely got stopped on stream. No, maybe 3 or 4 times in August. So it happens, mate. It happens. At least you didn't do it live on the internet. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's looking good. Looking good. Nice recovery, obviously, from dumping down. That was chaos, wasn't it, on Friday? I looked at the chart at some point on Friday, and I was like, bloody hell, what has happened there? That would have been obviously great to look at on stream, but it actually came after we'd have been on stream. So yeah, what a strong sell-off that was. So can we crash to the upside now? What we want to do is crash to the upside, innit? Howdy, Steve-O. I did, mate, I did. What's your view on the CME gap in the low 90Ks? My view is that it will get filled eventually, like most of them do. I'm not on board with... So pretty much, my stance has been over the past few weeks, and this is obviously how we had this. Look at this, what we've had highlighted. So we was looking at this for a while. Once Bitcoin started to break down, we had this region kind of highlighted. So my stance is, and it, we come and tested it. As long as we hold kind of 108k on the daily, we was all good. Now, obviously, we did kind of wick out of there, which is fine, because as you can see on the daily time frame, we closed them daily candles nice and tight in there, back inside this point before we got the impulse to all-time high there. So, from my view, yeah, as long as we held this region and, in and around 108k, it was A-okay. Nothing too much to worry about. Upon losing there, I did then have a couple of areas of interest. So this 105k, but now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking if we lost that area, then it probably will be a bit of a harder crash. So I'd be looking down towards this region here of like kind of 101, but then into the 90s, yeah. But as it stands, Bitcoin kept structure, kept good daily closes there, and we've pushed up from there. Now, obviously, if we lost 108k, then I would, like I said, I'd be looking, if it just so happened that from here, say in the scenario where we just completely lost all this momentum and then we started really starting to push down. If we started to lose 108k, then I would be looking at, towards 100 or into the 90s, which, where is the CME gap in the 90s? I've still got it drew on, haven't I? Yeah. So there's the CME gap in the 90s there between kind of 91, 92k, isn't it? Now, my view is that it will get closed eventually. But I don't think it will get closed yet. So if you look at the last one, do you remember when we left this one behind? We left this one behind, didn't we? In and around like 70, mid 77k to 80k. And it took the best part of, 4-5 months ish for it to close. And then obviously we came down, closed this, came down for a retest, and then went. So this has been open since April. So this has actually been open a good long while, to be fair. It's been open a long while. But it's in my view that obviously while we keep this decent structure on Bitcoin, we don't go and close that. But I do think it will close at some point this year or next. Just not yet. So, but obviously things could change. If we start breaking below 108k, then I might, could start eyeing up a really pretty nasty pullback. But for the meantime, if we look on the chart, you can see obviously this 112, like kind of 112,500 region is obviously clear daily SR. So as you can see, we've attempted multiple times here, and then obviously we had the big nasty sell-off. Bitcoin stabilized, we pushed back up, and then we've rejected once, twice, 3 times, pushing on it again today. I think if we reclaim and for a daily close nicely above, say, 113k. I would want to see. I'd want to see a daily close of 113k, if not more. Then I do believe that opens the floodgates. Then, we've obviously then reclaimed SR, so then we'd want to see this come as support for any low time frame test. But then I think that will potentially then open the door, to run higher, which would, put us in line with towards that CME gap. So that's kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin at the moment. And nothing really has too much changed since, has it? Yes, how we doing? SMFC, great to see you. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's going good so far. We're just discussing Bitcoin and CME gaps. But yeah, I'm favoring a Bitcoin rally this week. To be honest, I'm favoring upside. I'm favoring upside. Like I said, keeping this open towards 170. I might lower that down to about there, yeah. Just to get it, on any potential wick up. But that would be, that'd be a great take profit, wouldn't it, from the margin that we've got open on this trade? And yeah, I'd take that all day long. I'd take it all day long. So let's see what happens. Anyway, let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm feeling optimistic for a push up into that CME gap this week. We'll see if it comes or not, or whatever happens. Let me know in the comment section what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think we're going to go higher? Do you think maybe we're going to fall off from here? Do you think we're going lower than 108k? Let me know. I eagerly await your response. But yeah, so that's where we're at with that. I suppose while we're still covering Bitcoin, we may as well go and check the heat map, and then we can move on then to some altcoins. So yeah, as you would expect, obviously we have some liquidity below. Kind of, what is that? That's obviously the daily low, but maybe the weekend low as well. I don't know. The 3-day, we've come up and took a nice chunk there on a 3-day time frame. See that nice bit of hot liquidity there? That is juicy. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think really what we want to focus on is that kind of daily close on Bitcoin. Now on the weekly, obviously it starts to get a bit interesting, because while we are down below in the depths between here, if we have a look, let me just bring it back to the daily. Obviously from on the way down, we will have nice built up liquidity from kind of the stair step down pattern that we got. But also obviously just shorts building up as we're kind of compressing. We seem to have put in quite a nice base here, pushed up. And again, Bitcoin just kind of, feeling itself out, not in a rush to do anything, but then could really start to obviously look to take out some of that upside liquidity, which obviously, as you can see, is very nice and hot to the upside, up towards that CME gap that we're looking at. If we look at it on a 2-week time frame, what are we seeing? Yeah, so that kind of immediate hot liquidity there looks to be around 114k, which would obviously, if you notice, will clear out this high and will clear out this high and any other highs that we've got in this region that are yet to be swept. So that is, and obviously that came, you can see the origin of that came on Friday's sell-off. So that is, yes, I mean, it's another potential, another potential piece of evidence for us to look at. But I mean, yeah, really what we want to be looking at is this daily close. We want to kind of flip this region now, which is clear SR, into being support, climb above it for a daily close, and then are we off to the races? We will soon see. But Stonksy's doing a blinder. I know, been looking this morning, obviously caught a nice push up on Bitcoin. Hype is just going absolutely mental. We'll look at Hype soon. Foley, I remember you. Foley, you've not been in the stream for a good long while, have you? I remember you from, dare I say, like, kind of an OG viewer. Foley, I remember you. I remember the face as well. Welcome back to the stream. So a CME gap, yes, of course. So the CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It is, I don't know if it's the biggest or one of the biggest exchanges in the US, but on there they have a bunch of crypto options And obviously, famously, for years and years and years, they have had Bitcoin futures. They also have Ethereum futures. So there's actually, an Ethereum CME chart, a Solana. I don't know about how many others there is. I don't know exactly how many crypto assets they have trading on there. But obviously, famously, Bitcoin has been on there for a long while. So a CME gap is formed when one of two things happen. So the CME is closed for 1 hour a day. Let me just check for when that 1 hour is. I think it's 10 or 11 o'clock Chicago time. So I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it closes for 1 hour every single day. Now, it also closes on weekends. So it also closes Friday night. Again, I think it's around 10 o'clock. Obviously, someone who knows that for a fact can correct me. And then reopens Sunday night. So the time in between these two things, now you can get a CME gap opening through the week, obviously in that 1 hour. If we have a big piece of volatility in that 1 hour that it's closed, it will create a CME gap actually midweek. But obviously most of them come on a weekend. So when the CME closes of a weekend, let me show you. So I'll tell you exactly when it closes as well. So you can see here, obviously the gap that was created. So the last trading hour was from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock UK time on Friday night. So obviously 10 p.m. strikes, the CME is closed, and then obviously Bitcoin trading on the CME is finished for the day. Then it reopens Sunday evening at 11 p.m. UK time, which then obviously, as you can see, created this gap here. So that finished trading at around 112k, just a bit above. And then it actually opened at 111,325. Now, this is obviously CME prices. There is a bit of a premium on the CME at the moment, and has been for a while, of around $400 to $500. So these prices, if you went and looked at these times and these candles on a crypto exchange chart, they would differ by a few $100s. So just something to note. But then obviously that creates a gap. And then obviously famously, for years and years and years, Bitcoin has gone on to close them gaps. Now, obviously, not all of them have been closed in history. I think there's one open at 9k. I think there's one open at like 20k. But more often than not, they close. Now, obviously, if it's a very small one like this, typically, they will close on the same day or maybe the day after. Now, the bigger ones that are left behind can take months and months, if not years, to close. So, obviously, Exhibit A is the CME gap from... so, as you can see, we still have one open from 91 to 92k-ish here. So that remains open. So that hasn't been closed. We also obviously have this one open. You can't exactly see the gaps on the daily chart that much, but we'll zoom in on the hourly chart. So you can see obviously this one is open. So all the way up to 117k, just above. But obviously famously this one that was left behind. So you can see here, obviously Friday comes. The CME closes at 77,400. Then when the CME reopens, obviously it says Monday, but it is obviously technically an hour before Monday, Sunday evening. Then the CME opens at just above 81k. And obviously then Bitcoin just shoots up and carries on going, creating this gap. Now, obviously this took 4 or 5 months to close. But obviously it did close eventually. Yeah, you can see here, obviously we closed most of it there, and then here we came back for all of it, full closure done. So they can take a long while to close, and they can stay open for months and months, weeks. Obviously, some of them have been open for years, like the one down at 9k. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. And obviously it's, a very strong eye for the market to look at them CME gaps and look for them to close. And, obviously can lead into a trend one direction into closing the gap, but then offer potential for then, straight trend reversal to then hit it the opposite way. I hope that is a good explanation for you anyway, Fowler. Do let me know if that was sufficient. So yeah, basically the gap is created during the times when the CME is shut in that 1 hour a day. I think it's between 10 and 11 through the week, but then obviously it closes at 9:59 p.m. Friday evening, and then reopens at 11 p.m. Sunday evening, obviously UK times. And then obviously the difference in the Bitcoin price is what creates the gap. But yeah, it can create a gap midweek if, for whatever reason, there's a big spike in volatility in that 1 hour that it's shut. It's great to see you, Foley, as well. Yeah, thank you very much for coming back. Afternoon, James. How we doing? Which direction are you biased towards today? Up, mate. Up. I'm biased towards up until we close the CME gap at 117k. That is my thoughts coming into this week. That is where I'm looking. And yeah, I'm excited for potentially, obviously this trade to play out. We'll see what happens. But I think obviously currently as it looks, you would say we've held the region that we looked at and we wanted to hold. It seems to be like there's a potential exhaustion there for selling momentum, in my view. We've had good consolidation now on Bitcoin in and around this kind of 4k region between 112 and 108 since what's that? Probably getting on about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks now, isn't it? Yeah, from when we crashed down here on the 25th. So that's 2 weeks. So we spent 2 weeks down here. Now, obviously, that looks to me like even if we are going to go lower, there needs to be kind of a liquidity grab or at least some sort of trap set. So for me, up here, come and test this supply region here. Obviously, close the CME gap as well. And then if we're going to go lower from there, then smash it down. If not, then, potentially carry on, test the highs. So that's my thoughts for this week coming in. I am bullish. And yeah, still got my stream trade open from 108,448. And it's just going to rock with that and see what happens, yeah. But I'm feeling bullish, mostly because of the structure, yeah. We still need to kind of close the daily candle around 113k, but I'm feeling bullish. Thank you very much, Foley. Yeah, I will. I'll get the poll up now. Let's see. Let me get your guys' thoughts. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's joined. If you haven't, please do drop a like because we've got 17 viewers and 3 likes. So between all of you fine people that are watching, only 3 people have liked, which is heavily disappointing. So please do take a second to go and drop a like. I would deeply appreciate it. Right. There we go. Polls out. There we go. Look at that. All you needed was a bit of a kick, wasn't it? And there we go. 9 likes. Come on, let's get this. Let's get this towards the full max amount of viewers for viewer like ratio. Thank you very much, Dundon. Thank you to everyone else that has liked as well. I massively appreciate it. Now, we've done a good kind of half an hour section there on Bitcoin, haven't we? Now, I did say before, obviously, while I was off, I kept kind of one eye on the Bitcoin chart, but I haven't really looked at altcoins. So it's going to be interesting. Let's go through. I mean, let's look at see what Ethereum is doing. What has Ethereum been doing? And again, you would say we've kind of... Let me get rid of this region here. Let me go to the 4-hour view. We have kind of settled, haven't we? You would say that this looks kind of like a settlement on ETH, I think. If that's, if you would think that was fair to say. I think that kind of looks like a settlement on ETH. And I think, if you're looking upwards, we have clear resistance up here. In and around 4,500. But, we've multiple, again, over the past, week and a half, whatever, we have tested this kind of 4,260-ish region here where this grey box has been done. We've tested it multiple times. And, while we may have sliced through on a couple of occasions with some wicks, we haven't pushed through it to the downside. So, I mean, it looks very simple to me that this is just one range on ETH now. I think you can literally just make it as easy as you want from here. So this just looks like one range on ETH to me. So, yeah. That's what it looks like to me. You know, we've got obviously support coming in down here. You've got resistance up here. So until we break through either end, it is literally just support to resistance play, vice versa. From what it looks like to me, you know, until we obviously break through support or come up and break through resistance, then we can look further down or further up. But until then, you know, obviously we've held down in the support region since Friday. So you would imagine that obviously short liquidity is building up and up and up. Pretty common thing to think. I think it looks good. So I think, you know, obviously we need kind of Bitcoin to go along with it. But I think a push up to 4,500 next. Who says no? You know, who says no? Question is, what do you guys think? I think ETH looks great. But as a trading aspect, I don't know about new highs and stuff like that, because obviously we need to kind of see that momentum kind of tick back in, don't we? But I think, yeah, for the meantime, I mean, looks in terms of just playing this low time frame range that we've got here, I think that looks quite good for support to resistance play. Of course, do remember that nothing in this stream is financial advice. Important to remember that. But yeah, is anyone long on ETH? I think kind of like the feeling around ETH is kind of fizzled out a bit, hasn't it? It's kind of like the excitement around it and all the excitement around ETH has kind of fizzled out a little bit. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. It's obviously giving it time to cool off. But you would, I think 4,500 next for ETH. If Bitcoin starts pushing 113, 114, 115k upwards, I think that's kind of reasonable. But once again, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, the question is, do we stick with this open, or do we kind of roll? I do want to stick with this open, but do we, there's maybe an opportunity there to roll the profits from this trade into an ETH trade and maybe get bigger rewards. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to stay put and just leave it while I've got a nice bit of room between obviously my entry and up here. And kind of just stay put. But I mean, it's as simple as it gets there, isn't it? It's as simple as it gets. How we doing, Wiz? Great to see you, mate. Are you long on ETH, Wiz? You long on ETH? If not, we're just discussing how fantastic it looks. And again, obviously not financial advice. Don't go and take a trade based on what I'm saying here. But yeah, just looking at the chart, obviously, I think it looks fantastic. Very nice range to play. And what's crazy is obviously, if you look at it, obviously it's given multiple chances to kind of just ping pong this, hasn't it? Obviously we didn't really get the range formed here, but we did actually kind of come into an interesting point. But for any point here, you could have just ping ponged it up, ping ponged it down. Fascinating that obviously if you would have longed it here, but as it came back into support on Thursday, you would have literally been able to take profit, hit short again up here, and got that payout on the short all inside 1 4-hour candle. So obviously you hit long here, it does push up quite nicely. On this one, you get the full extension into take profit into the resistance zone. But then also, obviously, if you reverse the trade or just obviously close that and open a short, then you actually get, the full pushback into support on the same candle. Crazy. It's afternoon now, Wiz. That's true, actually. GA. But yeah, I'm not really too fussed about talking about ETH all-time highs and whatever next. Obviously, before I went off, we looked at downside targets just in case, obviously, things got a bit hairy and shit hit the fan a bit. And they are still, I believe, very, very valid targets. Yeah, I do believe that they're still very, very valid targets. So Well, you know, we're going to leave them up because you just never know, do you? You just never know. But I think it looks good for potential push up into 4,500 from here. Really, we want Bitcoin. If we get Bitcoin start, you know, behaving and performing, then you know, we've got every chance, haven't we? We've got every chance. What would be? Let me just go and check something. What would be? That would be that. Oh, and what would be that? I don't know whether to go and have a long on ETH myself. I don't know whether to go and long ETH myself. Let me see. Hype. Yeah, we'll look at Hype next. Yeah, I suppose we could be done with ETH there. Sol, we'll have a look at Hype. I'll tell you what, well, let's do Hype now. Monster. Absolute monster in it. And obviously, we did look at it. You know, we've looked at Hype throughout, obviously, its time here. Now, what I would say is, this is kind of banging on the door, in my perspective, of a pretty wild and aggressive breakout. Obviously, we came up all-time high of around $50, didn't we, back in July? We then sold off pretty aggressively back into a key point here in August. So, you know, great retest, great SR test. We then obviously came in, broke the descending trend line. And then, yeah, just obviously continued consolidation, pushed up. We then pushed to a new all-time high, fell back off. But I think, obviously, you know, it's kind of had a couple of goes. We had all-time high. Then we had test here, sold off. Test here actually broke, but then obviously didn't have a follow-through, sold off. I think this is on the cusp of a really aggressive, fast, just melt upwards. And, you know, is what I'm seeing. Because it's really banging its, you know, it's really trying bang, 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 bang. You know, this is basically the, you know, the fourth time of trying to explore above $50, isn't it? Because this was very short-lived. So, you know, we had 1, 2, 3, fourth time trying now. I mean, if this breaks obviously above, cleanly above, then, I mean, yeah, the sky's kind of the limit. There's just nothing upwards, is there? So, yeah, I mean, look, what has happened here? What has happened here with WorldCoin? What in there? So since Saturday, it's up nearly 40%. What in the blazes? And then again, this is another one where it's just kind of, you know, it's not really done anything, has it? It's still within its kind of, you know, March, February, March, April, all this. It's not really yet to break out of them lows. And obviously it's having a great day today. It is the biggest gainer on the watch list by the looks of it. Oh no, SNS has put that to shame. Wow. Someone told me about this, actually. Oh, no way. Someone got me to look at this, didn't they? Actually on stream. Do you remember? And it was like just in the pits of hell here. I can't remember what day it was. Someone got me to look at this. But it's actually started to kind of... I mean, you zoom out and it looks horrific. I mean, look at that. I can't remember if it was in this bit or if it had already fell off again into there. I mean, look at that. What a nasty sell-off that is. I mean, that's having a good day today. But I mean, look at that. What a nasty... Look at the sell-off on that. Jesus. Yeah. Fascinating. But yeah, should we have a look at Sol next while we've been looking at Sol name service? Do you have any? No, I don't. The regret I have at seeing it at $10 and just not absolutely smashing the hell out of it on the spot buy button haunts me. It's happening again, Dave. I know, yeah. Or at least Boss is dead now. That kind of makes me happy. CWT is interesting, started to grab a little bit. Yeah. I think that there's many things that I think are looking very interesting. I mean, I'll be honest. ETH is kind of screaming out for me to go and at least give it a go and kind of, you know, apply some risk for any kind of downside to down here. But I think it it's looking. I think ETH is looking good. Does anyone disagree? I don't know kind of what everyone's thoughts on it are, but I think it's looking pretty good. Good day, Bruce. How we doing? If anyone wants me to look at anything specific, let me know in the chat and I can pull it up. We'll have a look at CWT now. I think that should be on the watch list, to be honest. Ugh. Should be around here somewhere. I don't know. Let's have a look. I need to clean up this watch list again. So where are you buying this with? On CoinW or on PancakeSwap? Obviously this is the this just makes me angry. I'll be honest. I look at something like this and it just makes me angry. It fills me with anger because what in the actual fuck is this? Like literally, the thing was just dead. Look how long it was dead for. The thing is more than dead. It just basically had no pulse, and someone had just ripped all the arteries and veins out of it. It literally just completely dead. And then just all of a sudden, the thing just pulls a 30x out of nowhere. You know, goes from like 5 cents to $1.50 nearly. Like just unbelievable. It just makes me angry. Like why has it done this? Why is it done this rally? It's just, you know, you go look at it. Look at it. It's just dead. It spends to be fair, it wasn't, you know, yeah. Actually, no, it was, yeah. I was gonna say it wasn't that long, but it was. It's over a year ago. You could have bloody hell, you could have copped it at like just over 2 cents. And then just out of nowhere, it just goes, bang, just relentlessly up, melt upwards non-stop. So yeah, I don't know. Something like that just makes me angry. It makes me angry because I missed it. I would love to get in on something like that. Their exchange. Well, maybe we need to start looking at something like that. What tokens are dead that could have a resurrection? Do you know what I mean? What tokens look dead that might not be dead that could have a resurrection? What about this thing, Wiz? What a rally that thing had. Unbelievable. Oh! Look at that! This thing just didn't stop. Holy God, it's at $6. Oh my God. This actually might be the most insane run we've seen on a coin in absolutely ages. Look at that, Wiz, and everyone else. It was at like, what was it at? It was at like 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents. Bloody hell. It's now at over $6. Literally, the start of August, you could have bought it at 7 cents. What? I've had to turn my headphones down. Dave screaming in my ears is going to burst my eardrums. Good. Oh, I can't believe this. Can you imagine the amount of shorts that have just been blown out on this run? I mean, let's have a look at the funding one. Let's have a look at the funding rate. Funding rate's positive. Interesting. Yeah, it's utterly insane. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of still deciding on whether I go in long ETH or not. Imagine unloading at $8. Oh. Literally 100x within a month. 100x within a month. You wouldn't. I don't know about you. I wouldn't have held it though. I know that I wouldn't. I mean, you go back and look at it. Where is this stupid thing? You go back and look at it, and even if in the scenario that I bought some of this, there is not a chance in hell that I hold it past a 10x. I know there's not. So I'd have been out probably here. So there's not a chance in hell I would have held that. I'd have been out at a 10x, even if I would have lasted that long, maybe even a 5x. So I know for a fact I wouldn't have been able to hold it from 8 cents all the way up to $6, $7, $8. No way. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I know for a fact I would have been out probably, yeah, maximum 10x. Which, don't get me wrong, it's still superb in it. But I know for a fact that if I held something like this, there's no way I'm holding it to 100x. I would have been out of that thing and rotated into something else straight away. I'm kind of fancying a trade on ETH though. I am fancying a trade on ETH. Dave has custard hands. I don't think there's anything custard hands about getting a 10x. I think that's pretty good, to be fair. I think getting a 10x is, especially in this market as well. I think a 10x is superb to get. I think it's good. I think it's really good going, that. Yeah, I really kind of want a long ETH as well. I kind of really want a long ETH as well. I think it's just looking great, isn't it? It's just looking settled. It's just looking settled, and just looks like it wants to melt upwards. So I think I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, why not? Well, there we go. Let's go. Let's go and do it. Right. A few things I need to do on this. first of all is this. And then we will move on to some more altcoins, I think. I just need to get some more funds in, because I moved a lot of stuff around before I went away, so I wasn't tempted to just jump in random trades. So I need to just move some funds back into BLOFIN, which is fine. There we go, Max. And there we go. And then I'm going to long ETH, and then we will carry on. Bang, done. Okay. Well, that was easy. Now I just need to log into BLOFIN on my phone, because I've got the stream account open on the browser. Yeah, let's log in with this one. How many BLOFIN accounts does everyone have? I've got about 5, and I always get confused. See, I've just done the wrong password for that one. I have about 5, so I always have to check which one's which. This one. Now I need the 2FA for that. Bloody hell. Get in there slowly. Right, there we go. I'm in, guys. Right, let's see. Deposit USDT on Solana, please. Nearly done, and then we will crack on once I am long on my Ethereum. The USDT max. There we go. Sometimes the process feels like it's forever, doesn't it? Sometimes the process of moving funds around feels like it's forever. Just so many steps. Like, and then others, I suppose it's different when you're trying to do it on stream while entertaining everyone. But right, there we go. Right, now I wait that deposit in BLOFIN. I can go and long ETH, and we can carry on. Right. Why do you have so many? I don't know. I just kind of like to take advantage of the fact they're just non-KYC. Because, well, really, Dean, most of it was because, obviously, I signed up to one originally, and then I made like another 2 to do for tutorials for the YouTube. So that was 3. Then I decided to KYC on the first one I made. So then I made another one. So then I still had like an equal amount of non-KYC accounts. And then I can't remember why I made the 5th one. I don't know. Space Cat, how we doing? Great to see you. Coding, did you have I had a great holiday. Thank you very much for asking. Wiz is 500x long on ETH. You monster. You utter monster. But I will be joining you, just not on 500x. Right, let's see. Can we get this? Can we get this in? Alright, it's confirming. So let's see anyway. Now what I want to do is I want to calculate exactly how much risk I want to take on this position. So I don't want to get took out on any potential sweep of the weekend low. So really, I want at least like 3% room. At least. I think that's a good figure to have. I think 3% is probably good. So might go with you're crazy. Are they all affiliates of each other? No, I think they should all be affiliates of Stonksy, I think. They should all be affiliates of Stonksy, I think. Oh, it's in. It's in. Here we go. Right. Come on then. Let's see what we're gonna do. What you gonna do when I come for you, bad boys, bad boys? Go on then. There we go. Right. Okay, now that's done. That's done. Right, so I'm now long, so we can go and carry on. Have you looked at Penguin? No, I can do. I'll tell you what, we haven't actually looked at any memes. I just spent the last 5 minutes trying to get money back into one of my BLOFINs. So I could long ETH. Not financial advice, of course. I tell you what, actually, I did see something absolutely fascinating before we look at Pengu. Some guy on crypto Twitter, and not like an anonymous account. I think he's someone who's like completely doxed, and I've never heard of him before this weekend. I'm guessing has been around for maybe a bit. But this guy, the guy has sold his house and bought Fartcoin. I swear. If I can try and find it, I'll try and find the guy for tomorrow's stream, and we'll go through. The guy has sold his house and bought Fartcoin, like legitimately. What an insane thing to do. Yeah. So that seems like it happened. We'll have a look at Penguin now, but Pump Fun has been absolutely rocketing, hasn't it? Oh, what have I done there? Didn't mean to do that. Pump Fun has been rocketing, and yeah, obviously respected my levels 2 weeks ago. We should have long Pump Fun. We should have long Pump Fun because that has just thing has been up only. That has done near 100%. So if we would have longed Pump Fun instead of Bitcoin, that would have been great. Anyway, let's look at Pengu. Nice push up so far. See on the daily. So I mean, really, when you look at it, I can't remember the last time I looked at Pengu, but it's literally just respected the box that we drew. So really, the main area is kind of 2850-ish in it, like 2850. But this is literally just testing, obviously, previous demand that was here, wasn't it? So it's just testing demand that was here, testing it again, and it's pushed up. Really, you look at it, and this is kind of much like on Ethereum at the moment, you know, that range that we just drew. Well, same thing on Pengu. You know, exact same thing on Pengu. This is just one range on Pengu. So, you know, until obviously it breaks, you know, pushes up and breaks resistance, or, you know, ultimately breaks down, then there's no point really, obviously, thinking about too much until that happens, because you can literally just play the range. Now, again, like we've saw kind of on Ethereum, we've had deep compression. You know, it's been sitting here for the best part of a week and hasn't broke down. So that does lead you, obviously, to look for this potential upside, which it's now obviously already in motion of. I mean, really, the fear of Pengu comes in if it breaks further lower. So, I mean, for now, it looks like it's obviously made a good recovery. But, you know, just looking at it with the naked eye, you could definitely see reason to come back into there. You could see reason to maybe have that as kind of a region of interest, you know, which would be kind of like a 10-20% region. Looks like to me would be the main area of interest there if it broke down. But again, doesn't matter because it's holding. So yeah, Pengu again, just literally in the range. You know, obviously it's got strong support down there, and you don't have to draw your boxes that big. You know, obviously with it testing support down here, now you could move that down to there. So this is obviously very clearly daily support and daily demand now, given obviously the pushes into it, and then just the deep testing of day after day after day. So, you know, you can kind of refine that support zone from there now into something like this. And again, you know, resistance, yeah, probably comes in anywhere between like 3.6 and 3.7. And again, you're looking for either, you know, obviously breakout continuation or, you know, maybe rejection. But yeah, I think, you know, for now it looks good. And obviously is already halfway through a motion, really, of obviously support to resistance. So it's already now halfway in the range. Would I long this here? No, because you've kind of missed the max risk reward stance of down here, haven't you? Would I short it here? No. That's just my view on it. I'm just going to run to the toilet and then we will look at others. So Didn't you short Penguin at the top? I caught one of the tops. I didn't catch the actual top. I did short it down from like here down to here, I think. It was one of this one, and yes, I can't remember exactly where I caught it, but I did catch it on this retrace that it had over this 1-2 day period. Or was it this? It might have been this. I can't remember. It might. Oh no, I don't. I think it might have been. I think it was this one actually. It might have been this. I can't remember exactly where I short it. I did actually put it in a video. But yeah, I did short it on one of these two anyway. I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been this one because I'm sure it was open for longer than 2 days. It might have been here. But yeah, I mean that was a good trade. That was a good trade. I'm just gonna go to the toilet anyway. It won't be a minute. But yeah, we'll make our way through the other requests in the chat. In the meantime, obviously, do make sure you drop a like, and if you've got any others that you want me to look at, get them in, and I'll have a look. Right, I'm back. Let's check what. Oh, we've had a bit of a push up on Bitcoin, haven't we? While I've been away. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, come on then. Oh, what's happening? Oh, go on then. Go on then, my son. Yes, there we go. That's just, what good timing that was. It's a good job I listened to my gut, weren't it? I'm plus 20% P&L already on that because I went 30x. There we go. There we go, people. There is the value in watching the streams. Just telling you just how good ETH looked. Now, from this point onwards, it's your own management. But I have just give you the push up there, which again, I was just plus 20% already because I went a bit high on the leverage at 30x. But you know, I'm looking to hold it to 4-5 at least. Come on, Bitcoin. If this starts melting upwards now, we could have a serious day on our hands. Anyway. Either pays off or he is in the shitter. TA and MYX have been sending. Oh, yeah. My God, that MYX, we literally looked at that about 15 minutes ago. Scottish. Hey, it's great to see you, Scottish, as well. How you doing, mate? Hope all is well. Yeah, really good to see you. But I haven't looked at SPX. SPX had a pretty deep pullback, didn't it? Had a pretty deep pullback. I mean, they are some really good recovery candles there. It actually went a bit deeper, but then didn't go as deep as I thought for the next area of interest. So that kind of played me a bit. Yeah, that kind of went a bit deeper, but it's fine. But I mean, yeah, I had a pretty deep. It must have pulled back about 50%, didn't it, from obviously the peak? But yeah, nice bounce. You know, really nice bounce so far. You know, it's bounced what 30% ish from the low from the this bottoming pattern that it's put in. So yeah, really nice bounce. And this is kind of what we want to look for. You know, for everyone sat there wondering like, how do you catch like reversals so easily? Obviously, you know, first and foremost is if you're not part of Stonksy, come and join Stonksy to get full indicator access to the Discord, the bots, and all that jazz. But if you're just looking at it structurally as well, is you don't want to be catching a knife. What you want to be doing is obviously waiting for kind of a bottom to show itself, which we had here. And, you know, we had the same on Bitcoin. We've had it on ETH. We've had it on all these. Now, these might be temporary bottoms. They might be higher time frame bottoms. We just don't know. But instead of knife catching, you know, obviously what you can just wait for is some sort of bottoming pattern to appear. But yeah, that's a really nice push up on SPX there, mate. And obviously to you, I know you've had massive, massive conviction in it. I hope it goes to new highs for you, mate. I hope it goes to new highs for you. Come on, ETH. Come on, ETH. We had this mental day here, didn't we? Where it went from 4,200 to basically all-time high. Another one of them, please, will do. Another one of them will do just fine. I mean, when you zoom out, you know, when you zoom out there to the daily, this range is just, you know, obviously evident to see, isn't it? You know, you can see this range very clearly. What do I think about Tau? I haven't looked at Tau in a while. Where is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, so this is kind of, I mean, Tau, very interesting. It's kind of just, again, another one that's formed kind of just like a high time frame range. And it's just consolidating within it. Now, what I would say is, you can obviously see pretty easily, obviously given where Stonksy's got support and resistance, Drew. But you can obviously see, if you want to draw it as a box instead of a line, whatever. But it's obviously got support down here. You know, this is obviously daily demand. And, you know, we fell out of it there when the tariff crash happened, and then it's regained it. And obviously since, it's been primarily trading between here and here. Now, again, you know, another one was on its way down, and then we've put in kind of a nice bottoming pattern and then started to push up. This is another one which just very obviously supports resistance for the time being. So obviously you want support to hold down here for a push up, which it has. So at some point, obviously, it will break out. It will break to the upside or the downside. But until then, you know, just looking higher time frame wise to play support to resistance, really, is what it looks pretty easy to me. So from here, obviously, it might take a while. It might take a couple days. It might take a week. It might take 2 weeks. Who knows? It depends on the rest of the market. But you know, you're looking at it. We could end up trading back towards 450, 460 from here, because it's literally tested support, held. Where's the next point of interest? Okay, if we're looking at it as a range, here's the range high, the resistance. That's where we'll look to next. You know, we might have interruptions in the middle. Obviously, here looks like an area where it would face some difficulty just below 400. So that could be obviously a point where you trim some off or take it fully off or whatever. But yeah, I mean, to me, looks all right. It's tested support. And again, most of these things are just relying on Bitcoin, aren't they? You can see We just need Bitcoin to get a bit frothy. Doesn't even need to go to new highs. If it can push up back towards 117k, maybe even 120k, then a lot of things are going to start pushing up and recovering quite hard. Look at Solana up nearly 5% today. So, ETH is pushing up nice. There you go. Given to you by yours truly. There we go. Go on, ETH. Go on, ETH. There we go. Hope. Did anyone actually open an ETH trade? Did anyone actually open an ETH trade based on my unbelievable analysis? It's looking all right so far. Oh, well, there you go. SMFC blindly followed me. Very good. Very good. Well, yeah, I mean, it's pushed up nice so far. I mean, and look at that. That has literally just come from the fact that Bitcoin has pushed up $300. So, you know, if we get a 3K move on Bitcoin, then that's all it's going to take, innit? You know, you can see just the reaction from altcoins there. Obviously, Solana was already strong going into it. You know, Solana's obviously been pushing up on its own. But, you know, look at Dogecoin. Just full sending there. Doge has been on a massive run the past few days, hasn't it? Look at it go. Very nice. But yeah, a lot of these things, you know, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to start pushing them back up. And you know, a $300 move on Bitcoin has just kind of opened the floodgates for alts to push up. You know, look at Hype there now. Bang. Is Hype pushing to new highs? Is that a Hype all-time high? It is. It is a Hype all-time high. There we go. So Hype is into price discovery now. So yeah, it doesn't take much at all to get these alts going again. And like I say, you know, if Bitcoin can start pushing to, you know, obviously we want to see 113k next, hopefully for a daily close too today. Then maybe, you know, 114k, 115, 16, 17. Things should be looking a lot better in terms of the wider market and the altcoin market if that happens. So yeah, but I mean, that's a great trade on ETH so far. I'm glad I listened to myself as well. I'm glad I listened to myself because I'd have been so mad right now if I'd have just discussed all that, spent ages looking at ETH and just didn't take the trade. Jeff, how we doing, mate? Thank you very much. It's great to see you, Jeff. Hope all is well. Great to see you. But yeah, come on, ETH. Let's go. Let's go higher. I think what is clear as well is, you know, when you're looking at it, it is clear that this is just obviously a massive, massive area for Bitcoin. So there is going to be lots and lots of resistance here. But as soon as you start breaking it and as soon as you start pushing up, we should start to squeeze shorts then, because obviously at the moment, shorts are probably being pressed now. But as soon as we get to 113k, 114k, we could unravel them shorts pretty fast and we could move up as fast as we came down. How is my Bitcoin? I keep forgetting about this Bitcoin trade too. How's the Bitcoin trade looking? Looking good, to be fair. Yeah, it's looking nice. Refresh that a bit. I'm sure that thing at the bottom is not following the P&L count. Oh, I've been logged out. Have you just logged into the HF account, Dean? There's no issues. It doesn't matter. I've been logged out. How can we fix that? Is there a way that we can fix that where we can have two of us logged in at the same time? Because it's so annoying, isn't it? It's so annoying where one of us logs in and the other gets logged out. I wonder if we can like put it so that we can have multiple logged in at the same time, because it is really irritating. Smash those dang likes, exactly. Did you tell us what the update on the bots was? Jeff is saying, yeah, we can always ask, can't we? We can always ask. We've got 13 minutes to go until US Open arises. What is the poll on? Oh, so yeah, most people are expecting up today. There we go. Great like count as well. Thank you, everyone that's pressed the like button. If you haven't, please do go and drop a like. We are very nice on the ratio at the moment. But yeah, please do go and press that if you can. Now, what was I going to do then? Oh yeah, let's go and see what have we got coming up this week. Tell you what as well, I can reveal to you guys that me and Wiz are planning a very, very good video. We are going to be going into Manchester at some point this month, and we are going to be filming an in real life video where we sit in Wetherspoons for 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and tea/dinner, whatever you call it. And we're going to be basically sat in Wetherspoons all day, trying to trade enough to buy some pints and to buy some food. Should be great. Oh no! Oh, I've done that. Did I click next week then? I clicked next week. I meant to click this week. There we go. I was thinking, FOMC come round again already. Right. So tomorrow we have something called non-farm payrolls benchmark revision. Can't remember what that brought around last year. No idea. We then have PPI on Wednesday. So that'll be interesting. We then have CPI on Thursday, and then Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment. These two should be good. I'm guessing this might bring something as well. I don't know, because it's not actually a piece of data, it's a report, so maybe not. But definitely Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to have some good volatility on stream, that's for sure. Obviously, PPI was the devil that caused the big, horrendous downside candle on stream last month. So that'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. But yeah, obviously do make sure you tuning in this week, because Wednesday and Thursday are going to be great days for watching price action on stream. And Bitcoin is very nicely pushing up. Come on, Bitcoin. Up we go. Up we go. Bring on 117k, please. For those of us that don't know what's Witherspoons, it's basically kind of like the backbone of the UK. It's basically it's a chain that has many, must be thousands of pubs all up and down the UK. And basically what it's known for is it's very reasonably priced and cheap alcohol and food. So don't get me wrong, the food is cheap. It's a good option and stuff if you want a nice cheap meal and stuff like that. But you're not getting luxury food or anything. You're getting kind of mostly microwave food. Some of it done in the fryer and on the grill. None of it really fresh. But it's obviously a great option to have like some cheap food, and the drinks in there are very reasonably priced, probably the cheapest around that you'll find. So yeah, it's kind of like a staple in the UK. Like everyone has been to a Wetherspoons, absolutely everyone. Tell us which spoons and then what table. Me and Wiz actually said that. We said, do we dare tell everyone what table? Does the one who makes the most have to make the other half do a forfeit? I hope not, no. Sticky carpet, yeah. Sticky carpet. They are the fantastic place. If you ever come to the UK, Jeff, make sure you go to other Wetherspoons. It's like you step into a place that's like no other. You'll see men that have been in there drinking from literally like 9 o'clock in the morning onwards. That probably go there every single day. You have people where they go to coffee shops, and maybe they go to the coffee shop every single day, or they sit there and do the work and stuff like that. Wetherspoons is just a place where all the old dudes just go first thing in the morning to buy the pints. There's just over 800 spoons in the UK. So yeah, and there we go. I was close. Hello, Save, as well. How you doing, mate? See you in the shadows there, just popping up. Thank you again for covering last week. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Stay in a Spoons Hotel. Did that 2 weeks ago. Was brilliant. Where's the nearest one? It's the one in Manchester. Fascinating. But yeah, we have 7 minutes to go until US Open. So it's the time to be excited, you could say. Right. Well, did anyone else apart from SMFC take the trade on ETH? Because it is nicely up. I think my entry was like, I'll tell you what my entry was now. Hang on. So my entry on ETH was 4,316. It was actually better than I thought. I thought it was 19. So pretty low down, actually. So my entry is here. Which is currently, obviously, it's on its way down a bit again. But it's currently plus 17.5% P&L. It'd be great if that could carry on upwards. If we can get back to 4.5K today, I would, you know, I would deeply love that. That would be fantastic. Bitcoin is falling off a bit again, so kind of ruining the party. It brought the party, and now it's just standing all over it. Yeah, it's just big resistance zone. It needs like some sort of, it just needs some sort of impulse to break through here, and really then start to squeeze in shorts. Don't know. Man was in Salisbury. Do you know, when I heard the name Salisbury, I suppose maybe most people think of Sainsbury's, maybe, but I just think, isn't Salisbury the one where there was that Novichok virus thing, that kind of geo weapon from like 10 years ago or whatever? Do you remember that when that happened? There's one in Whitby. I definitely won't be going to these places. Doing fine, thanks. In a nice Solong. Very nice. Very nice. Spoons, where the toilet is 3 flights of stairs away just to go through. Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky if you find a Spoons where the toilets are on the same level as any seating, aren't you? It's a legendary place, though. That's what I said to Wiz. I don't know whether we'll do like all day in one, or whether we will maybe travel around, because we're going to go to Manchester for it, Manchester City Centre. So I don't know whether we'll travel around to maybe different Spoons in the city, or maybe just plant ourselves in one and just see what we can do from there. But it should be fun. Salisbury poisoning was in 2018, was it? So it wasn't as long ago as I thought. You know what? I seen a crazy Novichok, former Russian spy, was the target, right? I seen a crazy video on TikTok yesterday. Now, this obviously will resonate with anyone who's in the UK, but I seen someone say on TikTok yesterday, and I just couldn't believe it, that the current year 7s in high school, so anyone who's in year 7 in high school, were born in 2014. Isn't that crazy? That is actually wild, isn't it? Like, actually crazy. They were born in 2014. You just think back, don't you? What was I doing in 2014? And it doesn't feel like 11 years ago at all. But I just think that's absolutely wild. Like, the rate in which time has gone, even from a couple of years ago, but mainly like, yeah, the mid 2010s-ish, whatever you want to call them, is just crazy how fast that time has gone. There was a part of me thinking then, have I just been waffling on and missed US Open, but we're actually okay for it. We're actually all right still. Born in 2014 and addicted to spice vapes. Welcome to Britain. Spice vapes. You love them, Delta. You definitely love spice vapes. Like, come on, Bitcoin. Let's get some mojo back. I'm in a Sol Bitcoin long. I am in a Bitcoin and Ethereum long. So very similar, Jeff. Yeah, I'm currently in Bitcoin and ETH longs. We'll see what we can do from there. ETH had a great push up, but it's kind of starting to fall away a bit. We just need some like continued strength, don't we? We need some continued strength. There's just obviously just a big sell wall below 113k that either needs to be lifted, so it needs to be lifted by whoever's got it there, or needs just a massive capital injection to blow through it. Love them, I make them. Well, you, sir, are the devil. Anyway, we've got 25 seconds to go, so let's get excited. Let's be excited for it. What was Save? What was you doing for the US Open? What was you doing? Was you doing any Ringo Bell, or was you doing what noise was you doing for the opening of the New York Stock Exchange? You ready? There we go. We're open. Just like that. Just like that. And what are we going to get? Are we going to get the typical sell-off? Or are we actually going to come in with a different vibe? What was happening last week? What was kind of the vibe last week? Was the sell-offs on US Open, or what was happening? Let's hope we can push up. Make everyone happy and push this thing up. Let's go to 117k today. That'd be good. I heard you mention on stream you didn't have AC. I think that in the UK that houses don't have air conditioning. Is that is that a thing? Yeah, pretty much. It's not really common at all where you have air conditioning built in. Now, it is starting to get hotter and hotter in the summers. And I don't know if you've ever been told this, Jeff, or not, but I have seen a lot of Americans on TikTok when they come over to like the UK/England say that like the heat in the UK, while it only gets to kind of like in the summer late 20s, maybe early 30s/mid 30s if it's a really hot day, it just feels like a different type of heat. Like it feels like a different type of heat to when you're somewhere else. But yeah, it's pretty common where hardly any houses have aircon now. I'm moving house soon, so I am actually going to get aircon installed, I think, before next summer. And like have a proper air conditioning setup. Because it was absolutely ridiculous this year, to be fair. It was basically very rare, but we actually had like basically 3 months of hot weather, which isn't really the norm, but it was fantastic. So I think I'm going to definitely invest next year in a proper air conditioning setup. Ding-a-ling. They're called windows. There's nothing conditioning about that. Stewie is looking prime. We'll have a look at that. We have the same problem here in Portugal. It's because of humidity. It feels like a sauna. It's very. I think it's kind of actually quite dry. The heat. I think it's quite dry. The heat in the UK. Right. What was we looking at in Stewie? Let's see. What has Stewie been up to? Yeah, looking good, isn't it? I mean, it dropped out of where I was looking, so it spent basically some of last week in there, but it did reclaim it, which was probably good because it kind of filled that fair value gap, didn't it, on the daily? You know, you can see there to kind of previously where it had been up to there, kind of this fair value gap open, which it filled nicely on this candle here, and it's pushing back up. I mean, yes, Sui kind of looks like it has done for the past few months, where it is literally just needing a break above this kind of $4.12 mark here. That's all it needs. But I mean, yeah, obviously building up to there. Yeah, it's obviously held support here. It lost it. It then reclaimed it, and then obviously tested it multiple times along the reclaim last week, and it started to push back up. So yeah, I think it looks great. If it can break above here and obviously not perform a little peep over and then just collapse down. If it can break above here solidly, then yeah, I think a trip to $5 or even all-time high is on next for Sui. It's just very long waiting game on it, innit? Very long waiting game, but obviously again, like all others, if we can have Bitcoin start pushing back upwards, get above this SR point here, start pushing back to 114, 15, 16, 17k, should really lift altcoins quite strongly. You gotta get a window unit or like central air conditioning. I think that's probably what I get. You can actually get it done in the UK for fairly cheap, and whether you think this is fairly cheap is obviously a different story, but you can get a fully installed air conditioning unit for about £3,000 in the UK, which I think is actually worth it, considering obviously you just have it forever then. I'm old enough to remember when the sun was yellow, now it's white. Yeah. Are you old enough to remember when the tar on the roads used to melt, Scotty? I've been told about that by the elder people in my family. But that hot in the UK sometimes in the summers, that the tarmac used to melt. Alan Hope is Weatherspoon's first National Treasure Award. Is that true? In USA, I have to run around to sweat. UK, I just breathe or grow. And I breathe or grow my hair, and I'm soaked. Yeah. So it depends where you go as well. When I went to Vegas, that was like unbearable heat, I thought. Maybe it's the same kind of heat as over here then. But when I went to Vegas, my God, like even just walking down the road was horrendous. Hype is looking unbelievable, Scottish, yeah. Walking into a furnace, like, I love that feeling. Gold is on the march. Yeah, gold, I saw gold. Yeah, it's up just over 1%. Do you think that's a lot? Is it an all-time high? Gold. Oh, I'll have a look now. I don't think that's a lot, to be honest. I mean, you could just get yourself a cheaper unit, couldn't you? You could get one of them units where you plug it in and then you stick kind of the vent thing out the window and stuff. I think they're a couple of £100, so obviously more economical. But I think considering you'd have that aircon unit forever, and obviously it would basically add value onto your house, wouldn't it? You could just add it on if you ever come to sell it. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, I suppose it's not like it's a luxury, innit? It's a luxury. I didn't even realise that was a gold all-time high, actually. I saw it at 3,600 and I didn't even realise. Yeah, look at it go. And again, was just a reaccumulation zone from April. Look at that. Just day after day after day after day, wasn't it? What relentless buying that was on gold. Just reaccumulation now. Reaccumulation and then breakout. Wow. Yeah, what a move. And again into price discovery on gold. Heading towards 4K. There we go. We got it marked out already. So maybe are we going to get Bitcoin to do the same thing? Please, come on. Come on. Do something. Give us some excitement again. Give us some big dirty green candles. Air conditioning in Scotland, we call it a window. Yeah, you don't need it up there, do you? You don't need it up there. Have you even saw the sun once this year, Scottish? Have you even saw the big burning white/yellow thing in the sky? How actually was it up in there this year? Has the weather been quite decent here or not? Let's get some Bitcoin all-time high. Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's get it to stop dumping first. Naturally, just start shitting the bed. The S&P is also doing the same. That's actually what brought on that Bitcoin cascade on Friday, weren't it? It was the sell-off on the S&P. That's interesting to see. I mean, Bitcoin is just still the stock market's little bitch, isn't it, really? Bitcoin is just the stock market's little bitch. Still, like, it still just can't act on its own. And any sort of movement we get on the S&P, Bitcoin just mirrors it, but in a more volatile way. Do you have a bear market plan or an exit plan for this bull market? Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's going to be done after this year, one way or another. Now, that's whether we get Bitcoin new highs or whatever. Personally, I really struggle to see it going past this year. And if we're very lucky, we will get some kind of blow-off pop in Q4. The bear market plan is basically you just hold on to your cash. There's a very simple strategy to adopt in the bear market, and it's one, capital preservation. So any choice that you make in a bear market, the number one and first thing you should always think of is, does this preserve my capital or put too much capital at risk? If you do that, you'll be fine. Capital preservation over making money. That's really the only ideology you need to adopt is that. Is capital preservation over making money. Make sure you hold on to as much money as you can. And then obviously make money in a very risk managed way. And I think that's pretty much all you need. Yeah, I mean, if we do get any sort of blow off top in the market, whether that be on Bitcoin, alts, just alts, whatever, then it will be an absolute blessing. Very funny reply, give you that. Being scorching, one of our best in a long time, but I'm northeast, so a bit more protected than the west coast. Right, okay. Well, it's good that you actually got to experience it. It was the jobs report that triggered the gold. Was it? You need an ARB pump. I mean, exchanging USD to gold. I don't know whether that's the best strategy here. I mean, like, how much higher do you see gold going? I mean, for it to get anywhere near 4K is then obviously its next big obstacle, in it. Maybe you see it going to 5K. Maybe you see it going higher. I don't know. Let's see ARB. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Just testing support down here, hasn't it? So it's just tested support down there. And the thing is, anything like this, ARB, RV, LDO, obviously any other layer 2s, anything else, ETH beta, will just pump when ETH pumps again. So, if ETH starts to pump again towards all-time high or just has a good day in general, ENA is obviously another one. And again, there you go, just tested support down there. then they will obviously be the next to go. So basically, our pump comes alongside, obviously the general altcoin market and Bitcoin dragging up the market, but really you obviously want that ETH strength to come in again. It's good to see that Bitcoin has retraced that dump. Very nice to see. ETH is lagging behind a fair bit though, isn't it? Not much overall ETH strength, like in terms of on its own against Bitcoin, but so if you sell all your Bitcoins, where do you keep it? Cars, depreciate art, gold. What's everyone's thought? Well, really, the thing is that, in my view anyway, there's actually no real harm in keeping it in stable/fiat, is what I view. Because really, if you are looking to obviously like roll it into assets again, you're only going to be waiting a year, maybe 2 years, aren't you, for obviously a crypto bear market to come, take full effect, and then obviously provide you with some good buying opportunities. During that time, you could also stake your stable coins to, if you are really worried about obviously inflation or depreciation of fiat, you could stake them to obviously then make a couple of percent interest on your holdings. But I don't think really you have to come out of Bitcoin and crypto and immediately dump it into other assets you would deem as obviously safe things to hold. I mean, you look at the gold chart on a high time frame, it's obviously in a very strong uptrend, but at some point, obviously, that thing will have to reset. Gold isn't, it's one of the biggest assets in the world. It can't just go up only forever. At some point, it will enter a higher time frame downtrend. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping your money in fiat or stables. If you obviously that falls into the fiat category really, at all. It's safe there. Yeah, while you might take a hit on inflation and it might not be the best returns in kind of earning interest a couple of percent, but your risk margin is basically zero in it. If you put it into pounds, the pound isn't going to blow up. Yes, it might take a hit against the dollar, and that's where you need to kind of manage whether you're keeping it in dollars or pounds, because obviously anything kept in dollars since January has lost like kind of 10, 20, maybe more percent of its value, because obviously the DXY has just took a huge tumble. So yeah, I suppose whatever you want to do. Revaluation of gold, rumors speculate a 10k price target. Who knows? Oh yeah, who knows? Anything could happen, couldn't it? I suppose. Where do you store your gains? In the bank or in stables? So you don't DCA into projects you like and accumulate in a bear market? Yeah. I think no. Delta was asking, what do you do when you sell? Like Delta's asking what do you do when you sell? So obviously you sell, don't you? You get stables, and then what do you do from that point onwards? And the thing is, as well, is if you keep it, in stable/fiat, you're very liquid, aren't you? If you start pouring it into things like cars, Rolexes, obviously it depends whether you see it as an investment or as like a reward/toy for yourself. If you're going to buy yourself a new car, then obviously you're going to use it, aren't you? If you're going to buy yourself a new car in the fact of, okay, well, this will keep my keep my money safe, and maybe in a couple of years it might be worth 10-20% more. The thing is, they're not very liquid at all, are they? Especially, same for watches. You could probably, you can sell these quick, watches and cars, but not within a click of your fingers like you can with obviously having fiat to your hand or stables. So very liquid. And I suppose really it's kind of like, do you prefer to stay liquid or do you prefer to worry about very, very small margins? What is the interest rate in USDC for Coinbase? It was like 4%ish. Let me see if I can see. You can actually get interest as well on your money in like trading 212. That does like a daily interest thing, so you get paid out daily on that. And you can just withdraw your money anytime on Robinhood as well. That gives you interest on your kind of fiat holdings as well. Let me see USDC. 4.1%, so good. I think that's good, isn't it? 4.1%. And the thing is, on Coinbase, is you don't need to stake that as well, coding. You just hold it. So as long as you just hold it in your account, then you earn the interest. You don't need to stake it in Coinbase or anything. The government now limits cash withdrawals to 3K every 24 hours when state authorization is required to access your money. It's not your money. Yeah, very strange things going on in the UK, isn't there? Very strange things. I mean, the thing is, really like kind of almost shooting themselves in the foot, because if kind of the majority of people decided, right, I am literally just going to take my money out of the bank and store it in cash, we know for a fact, you know, with fractional reserve banking, the banks won't have that cash on hand to give people. And obviously also lose their kind of assets under management. They want to stifle the possibility of a bank run. I would actually argue they're probably doing more to kind of push for a bank run, because people get annoyed and people get angry and also worried that they can't access the money, which then makes them want to take it out. So while they're limited every 24 hours, if you do that every single day for a month or, you know, however long a period of time, you can obviously then get your money out regardless. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, people should just be allowed to do whatever they want with the money, shouldn't they? Thing is, fractional reserve banking. You know, there is obviously a big threat there to banks. But I would argue that when you start imposing these limits on people, and especially the fact that this Labour government doing it, is that you kind of do the opposite. You don't entice people to kind of keep the money in the bank. You kind of scare people and make people angry, and then make them want to take it out. So I don't know who in government has come up with that idea, but it is completely stupid. In my opinion, anyway. Apparently, banks don't hold more than 30k in cash. Yeah, normally what you have to do is, if you want to make a large cash withdrawal, you have to actually request it like a few days earlier, don't you? So like a branch may hold 30k, or I'm not sure on the actual figures, but they won't hold like a huge amount of cash on hand. You have to request it, and then obviously that branch has to like get it delivered in for you then to obviously pick it up or whatever. We're not really getting much, are we? We're not really getting much. ETH is ETH is kind of struggling. ETH is struggling a little bit against Bitcoin. It's struggling a bit. Things have kind of stagnated a bit. We've not had much happen, have we? We've not had much happen. So, I mean, yeah, hype obviously, yeah, new all-time high of just shy of $52, and it is kind of retesting that zone now. So, $5. WorldCoin carrying on, 26% now. I think that was, what was it? Was it 18% or something when we first come on stream? I can't remember. Robinhood. Oh, look at Robinhood. Just massive gap up. Massive gap up to 115. Bloody hell. This has been one of the better plays over the past kind of like year, hasn't it? You know, if you look back at it, even to this time last year, where are we? Yeah, it was at like $18. You know, that's comfortably a 6x now. It's definitely been one of the better plays, that's for sure. Anything towards the bottom? Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Oh, Bitcoin's taking a bit of a. You say a nosedive, and then you just look at the daily chart, and it's like, where? Not done anything. On the 5 minute, yeah, kind of, but just gotta be patient and let it play out. You guys gave away your pews, and now the government does what they want. Yeah, it's a very strange time in the UK, you know, Jeff. It's a very strange time, and I think obviously your guys over there. I know obviously Farage was over before Congress, wasn't he, last week? And I think obviously JD Vance has been taking a keen interest, and even Trump said obviously with his dinner on whatever day he had his dinner with you know, the tech billionaires. Was it Friday or Saturday or something? Obviously he said he's, you know, pretty concerned as what's going on in the UK. So, which is obviously good that, you know, obviously if you would consider these bad things to be happening here, which I would, it's good that it's actually getting the attention of, you know, maybe of other nations that may help. But yeah, who knows? It's a very strange time indeed. A very strange time. Hype up 8%, yeah. Just seems, again, it just seems, obviously this is very low time frame, so anything could happen today. Obviously, as it stands, it will put in its highest daily close ever, which would be fantastic. But yeah, if it can start to really get going into price discovery, then the sky is the limit really for hype. Come on, Eve. Nothing too. Oh, it's about Nvidia's having a good. Nvidia pulled back quite a bit, didn't it? It's up over 2% today. Meta's up over 1%. Apple is, yeah, doing really well now. It's up 20% over the last month or so. And the rest of them aren't really doing much in terms of today. Google started. Google's actually at all-time high now. Just seems maybe a bit of rotation between these Mag 7, between the Mag 7 stocks. Yeah, I believe obviously. I think the EU has fined Google quite a bit, haven't they? And I think Trump kind of alluded to the fact that they might just say no, they're not paying that or something. I don't know. Any opinion on ICP? Let me see. Internet Computer Protocol. Let's see. At high time frame support, isn't it? Obviously, it's built again. This is just another one that's built a clear range. I mean, this is a great range, isn't it? You know, this is so identifiable as a range. Really, really good. With obviously obvious support down here, and then resistance. And again, this is just one of them ones where you either play the range or you split it up. You know, maybe split it up into 2 half ranges like that. So you obviously have range high, range low, and then the midpoint to kind of differentiate between trading between here and here, and then here and here. But basically, what we're looking for on a higher time frame is obviously a break up or break down. Now, obviously, a break upwards would suggest overall market strength, which would be good. Until then, like I said, yeah, it's literally just trading within a range. So if we kind of just map that out, and then all you do from there is put a horizontal line in at the midpoint. So depending on obviously where you draw your range high and range low will obviously depend on where these levels come out. But then, you know, you've got range high, range low, and then your midpoint. So if we wanted to make that a bit more jazzy, we could maybe put that as like a dashed line. And then, you know, you can obviously trade when price comes close to the range low, which it has done again, and it has done many previous times since April. You buy, and then you trade up to maybe the midpoint and take fully off, or you take half off, or whatever. And then you obviously then maybe get the extension up to the range high. Same for obviously to the downside with shorting. But really, you're obviously looking at what is next. So I've kind of got these levels outlined of $7.42 and $9.29 for upside areas of interest. And then if we was to break to the downside, I would probably say, let me put that back to online. Just below $4 looks kind of reasonable. I mean, it's just a waiting game, and until then, you know, you can play the range however you want. And that's literally it, really. There's nothing real else that you can do. Just waiting, isn't it? But yeah, that is all for today's stream. So, did you see in Nepal the country banned all social media? Now they are having massive protests. I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. But good for the people of Nepal. You know, yeah, that's obviously something that's wrong, isn't it? You know, people have the what was the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you know, people have the right, the right to, you know, obviously use social media and you know, it just it's just wrong, and it's to try and do that to people. But you know, good for the people of Nepal if that's, you know, what they're getting, you know, the frustrations out, and obviously saying, you know, that this is not cool to try and do that to the people of this country. Yeah, I mean, banning social media, that's, you know, it's almost North Korea-esque, isn't it? But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. It's been a great stream, great discussion, and obviously we'll see where price action goes between now and tomorrow. I'll obviously be back tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, and I'll be back now pretty much all the way up until Christmas, basically. I'll be with you guys for the next near, you know, 3.5 months in the lead up to Christmas before we have a Christmas break. So look forward to that, and it's going to be just one hell of a ride into Q4 and see what October, you know, obviously September, and then October, November, and December brings us. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. I'll be in the Discord if you're in and around, and yeah, catch you all tomorrow. Bye for now.